Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. I'm Francisco, and I joined by my friend, resident mathematician, Andres. Exciting show today. We got some industry talk, we review a couple of cool things, and we have a fantastic double feature. Two nerds, one pod. Let's do this. What's up, my bro?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I'm pretty good, man. Excited. Another week down.
Yeah.
We got some crazy shit to talk about, and yeah, man, I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a bit of a short one because
Yeah.
I got things to do today. All right, man. Let's get to it.
All right.
News and tidbits.
Yeah,
What do we got?
man. Crazy thing, man. This everybody was hitting the panic button this week when all of a sudden news came out that DC Warner Brothers Discovery basically took Batgirl off the schedule, and they're gonna put it on the shelf forever, and nobody's gonna see it. And after that, there's rumors and people saying that there's a possibility that Discovery could cancel HBO Max, and they're losing a lot of people and letting a lot of employees go, and everybody was eagerly waiting to hear what the Q2 conference call was going to have in store for Warner Brothers Discovery, and see if they had a plan moving forward. And yeah, I think it was interesting. What are your thoughts?
Man, it's crazy. So, what was it? I don't know what the date was, but Discovery bought Warner Brothers, something they merged somehow. And now I don't understand what those two have together, have in common together, but whatever. So it happened. Like Animal Planet meets Game of Thrones. Like, all right, that sounds like it's whatever. But man, so the first big axe that fell was them canceling Batgirl, a film that was going to be released. HBO Max was expensive. They apparently spent up to 90 million already, and they still weren't even finished in post, which you could easily rent them like another 20 or 30. And I think the word was that Batgirl film did not test well. They said they didn't spend enough money to make it look good, but they didn't make it cheap enough to make it worth just releasing like a cheap film. So that they were stuck in a rock and a hard place, and the new guy who's in charge from Discovery is like, cut all prices. So they slashed that one out, so that's gone. And now what really sucks, man, is the HBO Max is like one of the coolest apps out there. It's got so much cool content, like so much what we talk about from HBO Max, and it's gonna get chopped. And also the app itself, like apparently the developers and all the tech folks behind it have all been let go or about to be let go. How do you screw that up? And you sent me a link saying HBO Max has like the highest rated satisfaction rate amongst users because it works really well and it's smooth. And Discovery is like, no thanks. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Why would you get a winning? Why would you pay money for a winner and just dismantle it and kick it to the curb? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. I don't know what's the initial thought process, but reading and listening to some stuff after the call, there's some positive things to take away from it, but at the same time, there's some big what ifs still out there. Like
Yeah.
they put like a lot of they had different files and slides that showed what they're going to be focusing on, and some of the cool things that's going to happen. DC is going to have their own studio, kind of like Marvel. So they're going to be a separate
Yeah.
entity. So maybe they can, get out of this bullshit. We don't know what we're doing era, and
Yeah.
get a game plan together and move forward.
Dude.
So that's a positive. According to the president,
Yeah.
they're going to have a 10-year plan, and we'll see.
For the DC films. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they tended to be already had something like that. They just screwed it so badly. I think they're just gonna try it again. And I have no idea. I mean, just kind of like fingers crossed, hang in there. I hope HBO Max survives in one form or another. They're saying if it changes up, it's going to be next summer is when the
Yeah,
app and everything will be completely merged. So it's got some time.
yeah,
And 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 they got a bunch of like backlog of films they're trying to work on, and Aquaman and the Flash, and apparently they're really enthusiastic about those films. So we'll see what happens there. It's crazy because Michael Keaton is in both the new Flash film and the new Batgirl film, but the Batgirl film is gone, so no Michael Keaton in Batsuit for a while again, I guess.
yeah,
Which I mean, consider he's like 70 something, but whatever.
yeah,
Um, the suit still looks good.
yeah. I read that he was going to be in the Aquaman 2 sequel too, but this president, I can't remember his name, but the president for Warner Brothers Discovery was like, "What are we doing with that?"
The new
The
dude.
new dude was like, and
Yeah.
that's how they got Ben Affleck to be in Aquaman 2. So they got rid of Keaton in that one because they don't want to continue with that. And I don't know if this is going to be like uh, Flashpoint is going to be like BC and AD. You know what I'm saying? Like before this moment
Yeah.
and after this moment. So we'll see. I'm worried about like on the slide. I saw all the little hubs that they're gonna have on this mega app, and it's gonna be a mega app, bro. It's gonna be all the Discovery stuff with all the HBO stuff, and it looked like a lot of the stuff that we like was gonna be on there. The one thing that is a little bit like, what are you guys doing with that? Are they gonna sell it? Are they gonna somebody else gonna show it? Is it all the Studio Ghibli stuff wasn't on there? So and we
Ah.
watch that stuff, man. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, turn that off. We've already seen it like 2, 3 times this week, and it's a big cool thing. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of stuff going on. What are your
Fingers
biggest
crossed. I have no
fears?
idea.
What are your biggest fears with this mega app? That it's gonna happen, bro.
Uh,
It's gonna be this big app. No name yet.
the app itself, yeah, the app itself is just gonna be bloated. Like, do I have to dig through like 18 years of Shark Week so I could find like a Batman animated show or something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that's gonna work out. It just seems like it's too bloated. Like, at least Disney is smart enough to branch off into Hulu, so a lot of the stuff that they own is also on Hulu, so you got some separation. But man, I guess someone who doesn't really enjoy fun film content and streaming content is going to be put in charge, and they're just going to make all the wrong decisions. It's going to be like um a board of executive directors who don't know shit from shit are going to be trying to like put like bat documentaries with Batman films just because they're like, it starts with a B. I have no idea what the hell is going to be wrong with these people, like,
Yeah,
and they're going to put all the wrong people in charge. That's it. I'm just
yeah,
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Man.
yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I guess my biggest fear is that because listening to the call or some of the people talking about it is that their focus is going to be theatrical and then
Yeah. Yeah.
VOD and the streaming stuff. Like, man, Hacks is HBO Max. That's one of our favorite shows. There's so
Yeah.
many cool content that came out through the HBO Max banner that it's going to be missing. And streaming content can be different than just whatever people make out there for the movie theaters, and we'll see how it goes.
Fingers crossed. I think when Spider-Man made $1 billion last year in the theaters, everyone's like pushing, gotta get back to those theaters because you can easily
Yeah,
make that huge chunk of change within like a 6 or 8 week period
yeah,
versus subscriptions. But yeah, all right, man. And that's one product versus like dozens of products that takes forever to get some money back. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Interesting times.
yeah.
But speaking of interesting times, let's move on to today's main event, main feature. What is it?
We're gonna review Prey. It came out yesterday. Today being Saturday. What was it? August 5th. August 5th.
Yeah,
Um, the new Predator movie on Hulu. Man, I was
yeah.
so excited. When you text me, you were 30 minutes in. I was like, radio silence. Don't. I'm about to put it on. Radio silence, fucker. I don't know. I don't want you to sway anything right now. So We both watched it last night, and man, it was so cool. I loved it. What are your general big ideas?
I thought it was gonna be pretty good because it got really good reviews. I'm like, all right, are they basing it on the last couple Predator films were not good,
Hmm.
and and it got rave reviews at Comic Con a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, all right, just give us something pretty watchable, and it was so much more. This is a freaking awesome film. Period.
Yeah.
I couldn't, but like almost every shot in the film is like really gorgeous. Like the settings and the costumes and like the lighting and the sky and the cinematography. You're like, what the hell?
Hmm.
This film deserves an IMAX treatment.
Yeah.
I think it's like just as good looking as like so many other films that have. It's better looking than most
Yeah.
films. Like I'm like shit. What they did is like it's an achievement, and not just that, but it's a Predator film that takes place in 1719, and it's just glorious. Like they did everything so right and perfectly. And
Hmm.
oh man, we're gonna do a second part of this review. It's gonna be all spoilers,
Yeah.
so I can't get too much into things. But I mean, overall, I was like so happy.
Yeah.
And what else? What else you got?
Yeah, and just the approach that they took to it was the best approach because you have like previous Predator movies where they try to jam too much shit in there. Like, you
Yeah,
got 20 guys, these guys are all killers and whatever, which was a cool little premise, but it didn't work out completely. And then you have Predator in the city, and I'm like, man, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. I like
yeah,
the less is more. The less is more
yes,
is a great approach. Just like the first Predator, man. Like, hey, we got some people out there, and this guy's hunting them, and we don't know what it is, and I like that they followed some tropes from the first film, like not really showing you the monster right away or like what he looked like, and then they took their time showing you the heat, the thermal vision and stuff. And you're like, oh, that's a callback to the first Predator when he was learning how
yeah.
everything works and stalking his prey and everything. So it had some great callbacks to the first film. So I was really excited, and the whole less is more. To your point about the IMAX treatment, just whenever the camera would pan out and you would see the mountains and the woods and all this stuff, and you like soak it in. I'm like, how small we are in this big landscape, and man, it was great. I loved it.
I'm like shocked how good it was. Like we're excited to watch it again. Like man, I gotta watch it at night. I love the fact that so much was shot during the day, which is a little like I wonder why they're shooting so much during the day because it's fucking gorgeous where they're
Yeah,
shooting. I'm like, yeah, shoot it during
yeah,
the day. Like the costumes, everything was like
yeah,
Jesus. Like they really went all out.
yeah,
It was oh man, yeah, and it was just fantastic. The locations, the settings, everything was just like, and the camera work was nice and slow. And there was a couple like just long shots of like the village and people just kind of walking around
yeah,
doing their thing, and like a lot of room to breathe. And like right when you need it, like plenty of room to breathe. So I was like, damn,
yeah,
this is just dope. This is dope.
yeah,
The main characters were great, like strong, like simple. Like it wasn't like
yeah,
some deep crazy thing. They need to find this thing to save these other people who go to this other place. I'm like, no, they just you meet a main character who wants more than what she's currently doing, and she's kind of not fitting in a little bit culturally to
yeah,
her tribe.
yeah,
And there's a shot too. It's not a spoiler where you see like all the women walking one direction and you see her walking through them in the opposite direction is like a nice subtle call of like how she's
going
not
against the grain.
a typical.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really like subtle, but like I even told Christina,
Oh,
I'm like, look how they're telling the story, like visually. They're not even
yeah.
just showing you, and you're like, she's like, oh my god, like
Yeah,
yeah,
I know what
that
shot
was
you're talking about. It stood out to me too. Is like they went the shot her from up top, and you see like all the heads going
yeah,
one way and her head's going the other way. You're like, man, and everybody's looking at her like she's the weird one. Like not everybody has to
yeah,
do the same thing, man. Everybody can do what they want to do,
yeah,
and I love that about her and her character. And be like, put me in, coach. Like I'm ready. I'm ready.
yeah.
And the brother, I love that the guy, Tabe, the character's name is Tabe. He was a great character that needed to be there, and he was just enough supportive for her to keep going and stuff. And he wasn't sure. He what to do either, like as far as believing her, but he trusted her at the end, and yeah, man, he did a great job.
Yeah, the dialogue was like nice and minimal for the most part.
Yeah,
There's a couple pieces of dialogue. I'm like, I don't know if that works 100%. That feels a little too modern.
yeah.
But other than that,
Bring it home.
it was like, yes.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
like, what?
Yeah, me too.
It took us out. But enough slobbering there. Let's get into the spoilers,
Yeah,
man.
let's do this shit.
All right, so listeners, if you haven't watched Prey, and you might not have because it just came out on Hulu, I would recommend you can get a free month of Hulu. Just or pay the $10 or whatever it is a month just to watch this thing. There's so much
Yeah.
else. Like that's what I did. And man, um, so yeah, here we go. Spoilers in 3, 2. You don't do it, people. Don't do it. Don't listen. Don't do it. All right, man. Top three moments.
Top 3 moments. The final fucking fight, bro. Like, damn, that shit was fucking badass. And
yeah,
I'm a little not nitpicky, but I'm like, oh man, my better senses are like, man, she caught on really quick to how things work.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, let it go, just enjoy the moment. And
no, but they show her. She's like always observing and trying to figure it out, and she figured out like just enough things that she needed to do to like do what she.
Yeah, but I think she did it a little fast.
The movie's only an hour and a half, man. She ain't got that much time.
I'm just saying, it's gonna take me more time to figure out like, oh, those lasers that are shooting people. Oh yeah, you just gotta connect the dot to the thing, and it'll just go there, the dart, and then she figured out the right angle where this shit's gonna ricochet from here to there. I mean, that was a stretch.
I mean, that was a big.
You might have got it because you're a mathematician and you got to figure out all the fucking angles and shit like that. But I wouldn't have figured that out because there's a lot of like 60 degrees this and it'll ricochet this way, blah blah blah, and she got it right. So
bro, I ran the numbers. They came
okay,
up good.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Yeah.
So
we're good.
I loved it. It was just I was like, just let it go, But so that was one of my favorite parts, man. Like the whole ending scene and everything, and it was good. What's one for you?
Dude, there's a little bit in the trailer, and I had no idea how far they take it. Dude, Predator versus a bear. Holy shit. Like hand to hand beating the fuck out of each other. Predator fighting a bear. That I did not. And how they shot it, and like you're just like, they were beating the shit out of each other. I was like, oh my God. Like right in the water. Like that shit was nasty. Dude, I never thought I'd see that in a film. So I mean that was one of my top. I was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Another cool moment for me was when the brother and the sister Naru and Tabe were fighting the predator together. I'm like, oh, they're about to fuck this motherfucker up. And then bitch ass predator goes invisible on him and they can't see him, and he's like, this is the end of the road for me. Like he felt them behind him or something. He's like, this is it, girl. You got to take it home. And then even though after like he stabs him and everything, he still had stabbed the predator with the face or the wolf's skull or whatever that was. And man, all the fighting shit in this movie was on point.
So good. The bitch ass predator goes invisible. That's funny. I loved how they used the invisibility in this, and like I loved how it was different. From they separated just enough from the other Predator films where you're in the technology. Like he didn't have a laser cannon. He just had like these arrows, and he would have to go retrieve the arrows. I was like, shit, that's pretty resourceful. And he had like the net. I thought that was an awesome scene.
That was a good kill.
I loved there were so many kills. And I loved how they shot him where it's not like overly graphic. Like you knew like bad things. Like an entire tree just got cut in half, and you see a dude's head roll. Like, oh, this head was on the other side of the tree. The net thing, the spears. And like, oh my God, this is awesome. One of the fights though that did not involve the predator that was a highlight for me. There was a long wonder shot of the actress fighting in the village, the little trapper headquarters, whatever you want to call it, the encampment. She takes out like 10 dudes in like one shot, and like that, the cinematography and the choreography, I did not see that
Yeah.
coming. That was so
Yeah, that was
cool.
really cool too. And they set that up. They were so smart because they set that up when she had the little skirmish with the other tribe member and
Yeah.
that wanted to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
take her home. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, she can hold her own with the. I'm like Denzel says she's got some squabbles, man. She's got some squabbles. She'll
Yeah.
slap the shit out of somebody and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they set that up perfectly.
I was pretty damn happy. I was like, damn, and like that, and then like as you said, the fight at the end
Yeah,
with the brother and her, I was like, oh shit, and then they were like beating the shit out of the
yeah,
predator. I was like,
yeah,
damn, it didn't feel like ridiculous, like in a lot of films, like all of a sudden, like the good guy will be super strong and the bad guy will start like just be kind of
yeah,
weak. Like they played to their strengths and they're both just kind of fighting it out, and like yeah, that works. Like it never felt like cheeseball force, like a Van Damme movie where he just gets his superpower at the very end and beats
yeah,
everyone's ass for no reason. Like this is just like, damn, this shit's awesome. And then when she comes back to the village with the head of the
yeah,
predator, and she like shows like the like as a badass, it has the predator's blood like smeared on her face, like tribal war
yeah.
paint. You're like,
Yeah. Nadu.
damn,
Her name's
that was
Nadu, and she
that
was incredible.
not, dude. It was awesome. That I don't, so many. That's kind of my thing. I don't know what else to say. I'm excited to watch it like several more
Yeah.
times.
I like the
Um,
another progression that they had was like when the predator's like first it kills the snake and then it kills the wolf and then it kills the bear. You're like,
yeah,
oh shit, he's
yeah,
stepping up each time and but back to that bear fight, damn dude, that looks so cool, man. And I liked how when the bear or something would attack the predator and would land a hit, like it would show like
the blood, the green
the
blood
green
would
blood or
splatter
like
just a little bit.
the shield would like turn red, like flashes of red or
Yeah,
something, like he got hit.
yeah,
So I like that little
yeah,
nuance take that added to the whole aesthetic to the whole thing.
yeah. It was pretty badass.
Dude, it was fucking badass, dude. It was badass. It was the right
I don't. Yeah,
length.
that's pretty much.
Remember I told you?
It was
Remember I
also.
told you if it's 2 hours, I'm worried. And it was like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, that's perfect.
Get in, get out, and I hope this director Dan
Yeah.
Trachtenberg. I hope he's able to give him another Predator. Do something like the Civil War. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah. It was a cool premise. And they pulled it out.
Man, dude, did they ever?
So
I don't know any other last. I'm excited to watch it again.
No, everybody out there, man. If you guys are back listening to this, watch this. Watch this movie, enjoy it, and yeah, that's it.
And the really cool thing I'll say this lastly is Christina loved it. Like she doesn't like these things at all. She didn't like the first Predator all that much, but this one it just worked and it connected. So she was like, "We got to watch it again." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Mm.
So that was a great cherry on top of the
Yeah.
experience.
I watched this shit solo. It was nice.
I bet. All right, enough of Prey on Hulu.
Yeah.
Check it out.
What do you want to score it? You want to score it 1 to 10?
Yeah, let's do that. But maybe before, let's make some stuff clear. Is 10 good?
Bro, and it's written out 1 to 10. Yes, 10 is good.
So 10 is so we agree that 10 is a positive.
I don't understand. Mr. College Degree over here can't figure this shit out. Where are you gonna score it, bro?
You were ranking you were giving 8s to something that sucked last week, Mr. Positive.
Yeah. As far as like how bad they shit the bed. It's an 8 out of 10. They shit the bed.
All right, I'll just give that to you. You know what? I'll give that to you.
You don't have to give it to me.
I'm screwed up just week.
You don't have
it's already
to.
Gone. It's already been done given. Let's move on. I scored Predator Prey 9. At least I want to say 9.5. Almost. It was so good.
That's really high. I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go 9. I have because of the whole bring it home thing, and then there's another little nitpick that I have, but it's like so minimal. I'm like, am I being an asshole? Like,
dude, I have like 1.5 nitpicks, and they're so minimal. Like, doesn't even matter.
Like, this is not a real spoiler, but there's a rattlesnake, right? And I'm like, dude, rattlesnakes are like in the desert. Why is this fucking rat in the Great Plains, or whatever, and like in the woods and shit? There's no rattlesnakes up there, to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I know, rattlesnakes are from the desert. And I was like, But anyways, that's my other nitpick. So those are my two nitpicks.
Yeah. There's like one shot where he's like running out of the trees where the animation wasn't
Oh,
great in a couple of shots. But overall, I love the concept, and like 90% of those shots were pretty damn good. So I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. The CG for like the invisibility was really well done. The all the CG animals looked
yeah,
fantastic. Like there's like those are hard to
yeah,
get right, and they knocked all of them
yeah,
out of the park correctly. And
yeah.
kudos to everyone who
Hey,
worked on
that
this
wolf
thing.
has some balls.
Yeah. The wolf was like, "I got this." How you like? Ugh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I also I loved how the Predator got fucked up a lot. Like he was constantly getting in fights and getting beat up, and you see a shot. There's that one scene where he's like repairing himself, like putting all his medicines and trying to like stitch himself back up, and it's a back to back shot with her doing the same thing, stitching herself back up. And you're like, damn, these are some warriors right here, out in out in the woods, trying to like just all right, get your shit together because tomorrow's gonna be another crazy day. Pray. Check it out, Hulu. Real quick though, new to the list. Something I mentioned last week that I said it was going to come out in a couple weeks, and I was completely wrong. It came out like that day. Was Lightyear on Disney Plus, and I'm excited to watch it. It looks like a total different take on the Buzz Lightyear retelling of like the origin of the actual character of Buzz Lightyear, not so much the toy in Toy Story. And I'm curious about it, and what I think we talked about it a little bit. What were your thoughts?
It's. I mean, I'll watch it, but it's not like on the top of my.
Okay.
Because I think the premise is it's not even about the real Buzz Lightyear. It's about a film.
Based that the toy is
Yeah,
based on
yeah.
something like that. I don't know. I think it looks really pretty. Like some of the stuff
Well,
I've seen from it, look the designs and the lighting. I'm like, damn.
no, I'm sure that's going to be visually. It's going to be jaw dropping.
Yeah. So that's sometimes enough for me. So we'll see how that goes. And that's pretty much what's new to the list this week. The short new to the list. But now, double feature. Far away, man. What do we got for the double feature?
In honor of Prey being set in the 1800s, we select we're gonna pick a couple westerns, man. We're gonna go with the theme here. What do you got
Yeah.
for a western?
I have two. But I'm only gonna say I'll say my backup one because we always usually have two because we don't know who that person's
Yeah,
thinking. But for this movie, for
yeah,
tone and just like a desolate, rough and tumble old
yeah.
west, I'm gonna go with True Grit, directed by the Coen brothers, starring Jeff Bridges and a young Haley Steinfeld in her first film. That film's awesome. Like that film should not have been that good. That film is
Yeah.
awesome. Like it is like down dirty old west. There's another one I could think of that's similar-ish, but man, uh, what's your relationship with True Grit?
I remember watching that. I think I liked it. I liked it. It was. I love the direction that Jeff Bridges was going in, embracing this old guy kind of. Because I think he did this, and he did Crazy Heart, and you remember that one where he's a old drunk country singer.
Singer
I
playing,
think he
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
nominated for an Oscar for that. But
Yeah, he was.
so he was embracing that part of his journey or career, and I liked it. And Matt Damon has some crazy lines in there that were fucking hysterical, and yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I'd never seen the original, so I like this one. Good call.
Cool, yeah. So it's more of a grounded
Yeah,
western. It's not like
yeah,
crazy. It's gnarly. Also features a rattlesnake, much like the
yeah,
prey. But all right, man, what you got?
yeah. I'm gonna go with my buddy Clint Eastwood, and
Ooh.
I'm gonna go when he won an Oscar, Unforgiven. You know,
Oh wow.
this one
Yeah.
is also. I think this one's set a little late in the 1800s because it seems like the old west is that like the criminal aspect of it was kind of dying down, but
They got trains. They're dressing
yeah,
properly.
yeah. Um, but everybody in this did a great job acting, and if you haven't seen it, it's about an old gunman being hired by a lady of the night for revenge because somebody cut her up, and he takes revenge. Some other things happen. I don't want to ruin the whole movie if you haven't seen it, but it's from 1992, guys. Got to get your shit together.
Won some
Yeah,
Oscars.
won some Oscars. The cast includes Gene Hackman, Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman. Yep, Richard Harris. What's the guy from True Romance? He did that in True Romance. Oh,
What role does he play? Michael
I don't
Madsen?
know. He's the producer guy. Lee. Producer Lee. I treated you like a
Yeah.
son. That guy.
And you fuck
Yeah.
me, Elliot.
Elliot. Yeah. No. Yeah. He was the guy that was.
No,
Yeah,
he
he
yells
yells
at
at
Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Remember his name? Yes.
No.
Anyways, he's in this movie too. Unforgiven.
Okay.
Great film. It's a little slow in the beginning.
Yeah. It's different.
But
Yeah.
it's a nice burn, man. And then at the end, you're like, holy shit, don't fuck with Clint.
Yeah. That was a nice, like, it goes slow, and then it just turns into like 11, the last like 5 minutes. You're like,
15, 20
holy
minutes,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. It was a little slow for me when I watched it in the 90s.
Have you rewatched
like, I was
it?
like expecting, not lately.
Dude. Yeah. Even
like,
because it's now you appreciate the subtleties, and because we're older, so we're like, oh, that looks like it'd be peaceful, so we appreciate some of these nuances that they put in the film.
Yeah. No, it's good. Like, there's some longer scenes where it has to do with them assassinating people. You're just like, the reality sets in. You're just like, and they let you just feel how shitty it is. And you're like,
oh
damn.
yeah, that's a good scene. Give us some water.
They humanize. Yeah. They humanize the whole like the glory of being a gunfighter. And you're like, realize, oh, you know what? That's probably not a happy fucking life.
Probably not.
But yeah, so that's our double feature.
Pretty good, man. True Grit, Unforgiven.
Yeah.
High quality films. Yeah. So winners.
And next week, all right. So wrapping up to next week, we had to keep this week a little short because we got stuff we got to do, unfortunately. But next week we are going to do a full-on spoiler recap of Hulu's The Bear, which is Francisco's top show of the first half of 2022. Yep. And I finished it. Yeah, so I finally finished it, so we and you can just go at it, which we have not even gone at it much. Cousin. I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Cousin. I'm excited. Oh man, I'm excited to talk to you about this. We're gonna go off because it's like, what, 8 episodes? We got a lot of ground to cover. So that's gonna be
if you guys still haven't seen it out there, check it out, man. The Bear. It won't go wrong on you.
Yeah. And next week we'll get back to our trailers, and we've got a pile of trailers, some really cool stuff.
All right. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, man. It was a huge win for Hulu this week. I mean, is that the win of the year to go first? That's easily the best film to go directly to a streamer, I think. So that's a big win for Hulu.
You know what? Thinking about it, I can't think of a movie that I would consider putting on any of my like permanent lists,
Yeah, I would own this if it was not on Hulu.
Yeah,
I'd want to own it. Like on Blu-ray.
Yeah, good
Man,
call.
So cool. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
No, that's it, man. Looking forward to get into the Sandman show. I watched one episode and I think I'm in. And so I'm gonna work on that this week, and I think that's it.
Dude, you gotta let me know how that goes, because I'm a little on the fence, but I'm more curious than not. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment. Other than that, I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
All right. Have a good week, guys. Let's put it on the list.